In this fourth segment, Andrew speaks to reaching out to community leaders.
We have to look at who can we talk to? If we are alone in this, can we reach out in our community to community leaders? If we are in churches, can we sit down with the pastor and talk to the pastor about what's happening in the community, what's happening to our coworker?
Even getting cards into churches and stuff is like I've asked in my own community to get these cards into the church, and it's you have to run through barriers.
So one of the things that we wanted to do, and I know 15 and Fairness made a breakthrough with a group from the church already that put out an open letter. The same way they reach out to doctors to talk about the health factor of low wages. One thing that I'm trying to do, and I think it's helpful. A lot of times they go about their way in the church and they're not tapping into things that affect their members. And I think what made more sense for the members of those churches that go there, that are able to set up an appointment with the pastor or the priest, even if they need support from someone else to go with them, to just to sit down and have a 10-20 minutes conversation about the campaign and how they can play a role. And sometimes it's them writing a letter. We find when I was working on the $14 minimum wage campaign, a number of these churches had food bank in it. I remember our own members from my union used to come to me when they're angry about the union, and they would say, "Oh, my pastor hates the union." I said, "Why?" And then I realized when they're frustrated and they're stressed, whether it's something in their community or at work, or they're working several jobs and no money, that's the closest place to them. So they go and they sit with their priest or the pastor to talk about their disparity. And so if that pastor think, okay, you're in a union and the union is not doing anything, that's all they know. And it's an opportunity for us to set up these meetings to sit with them and say, are you aware of this campaign? Here's another way that we can add pressure. By you stepping forward because you see this much people, how can you help? For the teachers, when we go to the teacher, we know there's some limitation with teachers, what kind of information they can release. But again, it's them putting a plan in place that speak to the students in their classroom. What do they see? What does that look like for students that show up at school, whether they're hungry or they do they work overnight before they come in because they're the breadwinner in the household with their parents. So there's a way to get more energy around the campaign, just to look at the kind of service you do and how you could use that to play a role in the campaign.